Liminal spaces, apocalyptic imaginaries. Capitalism is really bad. It's killing our planet. It makes it impossible for people in the global south, for the working class in the global north, to have access to necessary resources. It's really bad, and it will end. It will conclude. But what if it doesn't get better? What if instead of the utopian world that we fight for and we work for, instead there's just a slow whimpering and dying, and then no one and nothing. I really like liminal spaces. They bring me a lot of emotion. I wouldn't exactly call it joy. A liminal space is defined by two factors. The first is remembrance, familiarity, nostalgia, even. It doesn't have to be a positive nostalgia. It doesn't even have to be a real nostalgia. You can be in a space that you've never been in before, or see a photo that you've never seen before, and you can still feel a familiarity with it. You can still feel a kinship with it. The second aspect of a liminal space is a transition. Now, this is quite broad and can mean different things. I think that the term liminal specifically meant transition, as in like a transition from one life stage to another. But when we talk about liminal spaces, it seems as if we only are thinking about the transition from a neoliberal present to a post-neoliberal apocalyptic future. Photos of liminal spaces basically never feature humans or animals, or honestly, much of any ecosystems at all. The ecosystems that exist within liminal spaces are ecosystems of death, of sterility, of chemicals, of the result of capitalism and the transition of capitalism to apocalypse. There is life in some liminal spaces, in all liminal spaces actually, but we don't recognize it as such. And if we do, it's sterile, it's synthetic, and it's certainly not natural. From what I'm saying, liminal spaces seem quite depressing, And they are. I'm not going to discount that. But I also think there's something more to them. Because liminal spaces are an escape. They show what a world is like after neoliberalism, after capitalism, after modernism, after joy. And as someone who exists in the modern world at this current time, and who's quite upset with it, sometimes it's nice to take a step back and not be in that world anymore. Liminal spaces tell us that at the end of capitalism, we will not have utopia. We will not have a world or a society without class or caste or anything else, and we will continue to have the materiality of this present world just in such a different, radically altered context that it's unimaginable and it's disorienting. And it is sad. And it's not sad as in the lack of joy or the lack of happiness, but it's sad because it's overwhelming. And so, at the end of my time, I hope people will know what to do with overwhelming nothingness without context, and will find some remorse and sadness that I have found too.